YouTube, what is going on? It is your man Tyler James in the car, about to go hit chest and back. Wanted to give you guys a little sneak peek into my chest and back day. It is pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I do hit chest 3 times a week, and so what I like to do when I hit chest is do incline, at least one type of incline movement every single chest workout. And incline and hitting your upper chest is what is going to make you look more aesthetic. If that is what you're going for in the gym, then upper chest is super duper important to hit. And people, they don't see your lower chest, they see your upper chest. So yeah, you want to do at least, if you're going to hit chest, do at least one incline movement. You can do incline dumbbell press, you can do incline machine press, you can do incline barbell bench press, you can do any incline, but just hit incline one time every time you do chest. And then also hitting back, chest and back together. And you know, a lot of people, they like to separate chest and back or do a pull day and a push day. And you know, if that works for you, that's great, but I like to do them together. I think having that contrast is really kind of shocks your muscles and shocks the body. And I just think it's a good pump and an overall good workout. And yeah, it's just what I prefer to do. Obviously, you can do whatever you like. But if you've never tried doing chest and back together, then why not give it a try? Why not give it a little effort and see what happens? I'm at the gym. I don't know if you guys can see the gym, but it's an indoor-outdoor gym in Austin, Texas. I'm going to try to post up at a spot. Indoor-outdoor gym in Austin, and just a solid gym. You know, working out outdoors in the sun is like the best thing you can do for your testosterone, I swear. And especially when you're hitting chest and you're hitting back, it's just a killer. And yeah, I'm about to just take you guys through everything I do. It'll take me about an hour and 15 minutes. See you on the other side. All right, guys, so the very first thing I start all my upper body day workouts with is pull-ups. Pull-ups are going to be your number one best friend towards building a wider physique. You always hear people talking about having a V-taper, and part of having a V-taper is a 1.6 to 1 shoulder to waist ratio. Pull-ups are going to be the best friend to getting a wider physique, and right here you see me really pushing through, and it's a great way to warm up the body, get the pump going, get the blood flowing. And you can do it every single workout. Next thing I do, incline barbell bench press. Incline barbell bench press is going to be another great one to do. You can literally do any incline movement you want, but if you want an aesthetic physique and you want to have a good looking chest, you need to hit incline. Incline. Incline is going to give you the chest aesthetic that you ultimately want. And right here what I do is heavy weight and high reps. So I'm doing about 6 to 7 reps, maybe not high reps, but medium reps. Also hitting 205. And then right here, I got a girl to come spot me, because for whatever reason, whenever you have a girl spot you, you lift more. It is just a scientifically proven fact. And if you want to lift more and put on more weight, then get a girl to spot you. So for whatever reason, I was struggling on the 6 before, but then this round of 6 with the same exact weight, I'm somehow able to do it nice and easy and nice and smoothly. So I don't know what it is, but if you can get a girl to spot you, do it. Next thing I do is, you know, keeping the theme of having a wide back. Again, guys, we're going for an aesthetic physique, and when you have an aesthetic physique, you have to have a wide frame. And so what I'm doing with the wide frame is doing back exercises to make me look wider. And lat pull down is a great one to do that. And you can see with what I'm doing, I'm pulling my elbows down, almost like I'm trying to elbow someone. Think about someone you don't like and just elbow that motherfucker when you're doing your back exercises. So next thing I do, sticking with the incline theme. You know, incline dumbbell press is a great one to do, but I just prefer the machine press. And at this gym, the dumbbells just get pretty busy, so I will just do a machine press. And here again, I'm doing high weight, heavy high weight, high reps. And what high weight, high reps is going to do is it's going to put a lot of strain and stress on your body, but also you're working it in an aesthetically pleasing type of way. When you're only doing like 2 to 4 reps, you're really only going for strength, and you're not adding any fatigue. You're not adding really any fatigue, and you're not stressing the muscle out as much as you could be when you're doing high weight, high reps. You can see right here at the end, I am really going down super slow and exploding up. And when you're doing high weight, high reps, you have that ability to really put a lot of strain and stress on your muscles. Again, the muscles don't really care about how much weight you're lifting. Yes, the weight does matter, but your muscles care about how much they are getting stretched, how much they are getting worked, how much they're tearing up. And then when you rest and recover, that's when you really build the muscle back, right? So don't get too caught up in how much weight you're doing, but get caught up in how much strain and stress you're putting on your muscles, because when you tear your muscles down like that and you force them to repair at a greater rate than before, then you're growing more. So again, guys, that is super important. The last exercise I was just doing before chest flies was another pull down weighted machine movement, and I really like that movement because, again, you're putting a lot of stress and strain on an isolated movement. And one thing I will say about when you do isolated movements is that you are going to want to not release the tension on that exercise too much. What I mean by that is you're not going to want to go full range of motion, because when you do go full range of motion on an exercise where you're isolating something, you are ultimately taking the tension out of that muscle when you are going fully all the way up. So a good rule of thumb is to go about 3/4 of the way up. That way you're keeping most of the tension in that muscle that you're trying to isolate. So that's what you guys just saw on that previous back exercise, but catching up to chest flies here. Chest flies, again, are a great way to put a lot of stretching and a lot of tension on your muscles. That way they are forced to repair, they are forced to grow. So that is what I mainly do for chest, is incline, chest flies, and then you see me here with the dips. Dips are going to be excellent for your lower chest. If you want to have a good physique, also lower chest is an important thing to do to just overall build your chest. Upper chest is undefeated, but dips are a great way to really build your lower chest and get more of a wider look in your chest too. So highly recommend dips for you guys. I hope you enjoyed that chest and back workout. Wanted to throw a little bit of a something together to show you what I do. And you know, guys, if you can work out outside, I highly recommend you do that. And also, if you can get a girl to spot you, highly recommend doing that too, because being around women and attractive women raises your testosterone. So I don't want to go down a tangent on that, but if you can get a girl to spot you, you might do more weight and you might do more reps. Just saying. If you haven't tried it before, do it. Anyways, chest and back, I think, is a great way to switch things up. I think a lot of people are very focused on, push days or pull days, but you want to shock the muscle. You want to shock the muscle that you're working on, because when you shock the muscle, when you go at it, for a lack of a better term, what you're doing is you're ultimately breaking the muscle down. And how a muscle grows is it grows by getting broken down and then being repaired. So when you're breaking that muscle down, when you're shocking the muscle through doing different things, through doing isolated movements or whatever it is, when you're shocking that muscle, when you're breaking it down, the more you can break it down while not getting injured, the more it's going to repair and the more it's going to grow back stronger, bigger, healthier, whatever it is, right? So you need to focus on shocking the muscle. You need to focus on getting a stretch, going down slow. All those things are super, super, super important, because ultimately the muscle does not care about how much weight you're putting on. It cares about how much strain and stress it's going to be under, because the more strain and stress it's under, the more that it breaks down and the more it can repair and grow and get stronger. Okay, so when you guys are in the gym, when you are working out, understand that what matters and what counts is how much strain, how much stress you're putting on the muscle, right? Because if you're only focused on how much weight you can lift and your ego is in the way, you're not going to be as strong and be as big as you could be, because your muscle is ultimately not breaking down as much as you could. Have you ever done a heavy exercise, heavy weight, and you're like, I did it, but I didn't feel it, right? You don't want that. What you want is a heavy enough weight where you still feel it, where it's a good stretch, it's a good contraction, where it's a good thing, right? High weight, high reps. When you do high weight, high reps, you are putting a lot of strain, a lot of stress on your muscles, and they're going to be forced. They're going to be forced to grow back at a greater rate than they previously were. So, super important, you guys, get your ego out of the way and focus primarily on how the muscle is getting stretched, how the muscle is getting worked, how it's going to break down so then it can come back, right? That's what working out is all about, is breaking down your muscles so they can repair, come back, and be even stronger. Okay, that's why rest and recovery is very important, but also breaking down the muscle is very important. Okay, so don't get caught up too much in how much weight you can lift, what you can do, all that stuff, who you can show off for, right? Because ultimately, your brain and your body only knows how much strain, how much stress you're putting on that muscle. And when you're putting on more strain and stress and you're forcing it to break down at a higher rate, it doesn't care about what weight you're lifting. It cares about how much it needs to be brought back, how much it needs to be repaired, right? So that is a super important thing I'll leave you guys with, is if you want an aesthetic physique, focus on stretching, focus on stretching the muscle, focus on contraction, focus on going down slow and exploding on the way up, focus on hitting upper chest, focus on getting a wide back, the V-taper. Those are all the things you want for an aesthetic physique. And if you don't do those things, you're not going to have an aesthetic physique. And if you're not, lower body fat, also you won't either. But focus on the contraction, focus on your form, focus on doing the right things, and then you can bump the weight up. Then you can go up. But if you're just doing the wrong things from the outset, your muscles aren't going to grow as great as they could. And if you're spending that time in the gym, if you're going to the gym, let's not waste our time. Let's focus on having the highest ROI possible from the time we spend in the gym. And how you do that is through doing the right things, lifting the right way. Okay? So that's what I'll leave you guys with. Chest and back day. Like, comment, subscribe. And if you would like someone to be able to help you out with creating a training program, creating a diet, getting you fully locked in for this winter arc 365, whatever it is that you really want, feel free to book a call with me below, and I can see if you're a good fit for the program. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.